checking in. Everybody doing okay? Have you thawed out? Have the ice thawed? And did you buy too many groceries or did you buy just enough? How y'all making it today? Are you grounding when you get up? Are you doing your breathing exercises? Are you releasing this crazy stale energy? Because there's some stuff going on now. People are losing it. You're going to have to master yourself because people are losing it. You can either be in the driver's seat or be on the passenger side. Grand Rising, this is MaSunGoddess777 checking in with you on this beautiful day. What is it, Thursday? I forget the days next time be going by so fast. I don't think we have even 10 hours in a day. Now the way the time has sped up. What did it say in the good book? It said for the elect's sake, time will be shortened. But that's happening because I know I do not get in. I don't even get 10 hours sometimes out of a day. We're literally not even getting 10 hours out of these days now, y'all. That's how the time has sped up. And I'm on my phone. Yeah, I apologize. I'm not on the computer. I'm on the phone. So I just thought I'd get up here and say Grand Rising. I hope everyone is waking up with the mindset of what they want to accomplish today. A few steps forward is better than going backwards or doing nothing at all and being easy on yourself. Not to the point of a lot of people are not lazy. They're just stagnant in its procrastination and stagnation. And it's not even due to laziness. It's due to self-doubt a lot of times and fear of failure and just afraid and to try. Because, you might be afraid you may fail. Well, listen, you're going to fail. But what we have come to see is you're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get it wrong. That's a part of life. But what is it? We see the people in the winning phase. All a winner is a failure that kept on trying. If you keep on trying at something after a while, you're going to figure it out. You really are. You're going to figure it out. You got to keep right on trying. You can't give up. If you want to try like now's the time to learn something new. Try something new. You may not get it at first, but keep on trying. And I learned that a long time ago because it was a subject. And when I was in school as a kid, I didn't like a certain subject. So I tried to get around it. And when I had to actually go into this career I was trying to go into, I had to face that milestone. So I had to bear down and I had to learn it. And I had to master it to the point of passing. But what happened was I got in there and I started learning, and at first it was hard and I didn't get it because I didn't want to. I didn't see no reason for it when I was like a kid. And I would always try to get around it as much as I could. But most of the stuff that careers, you have to learn a certain form of it. So what happened was I started getting a tutor. And I think I think I was hard on myself because I felt like I should just know this and I shouldn't need a tutor. So what I did was I finally got a tutor. Matter of fact, I had to get a tutor. Now, this is ego, because I'm good in all the other subjects. I'm an A student, got a high GPA. But with this subject, I had to get a tutor when I was going for the community college. And I got it a little, but my mind was not, I guess my mind wasn't ready to grasp it. Because, a lot of times when you have a lot of outside things going on, you can't focus and concentrate. So it's not all the time that you're stupid or you're slow. It's just that you can't focus because of all the outside noise. So when I actually took it online a little later on, it was a little quieter around me. Things weren't as chaotic, and it was a little more, peaceful. So I was able to actually focus on it. And it was online that I had a tutor, and I actually made I mean, I didn't ace it, but I think I got like a high B. And I was just looking to get a decent C, like pass. And I think it was like passing it was for that course was like maybe it was a 70 something, but I actually got a high B, and I was like, wow, like it's not all the time it's the noise around you, and it's the noise on the inside of you. When you get to a place where you can be quiet, and you can be quiet on the inside, a lot more things you can focus on, and you'll realize that you can actually absorb it better. And that has to do with your brain maturity and all that. Like some things you may not understand now, a little later on you go back to it, it might make it'll make more sense, or you'll be able to digest it. It's been times when it was books that I didn't understand, and when I go back to it later, I'm like, yeah, I got it. It makes sense. So it's just time and circumstances, So yeah, I've been having some lucid dreams lately too. I'm not gonna tell you what I've been dreaming. It's been some really lucid dreams, and I try not to be too full before I go to sleep, because I really want to travel. I really want to get all up into those dreams. So I try not to be too full when I sleep, because I notice that affects my dream state. How is everybody doing? Everybody, it's people. A lot of people are losing it, and they can't hold the grid and hold the line. But you got to master yourself. You have to get a hold of yourself in this energy, and take you some deep breaths, and grounding, staying grounded, because a lot of times we don't realize it, but we have certain elements like water, fire, air, and earth, and sometimes we have more elements than others. Like if we got too much water and air, we need earth and fire, so we need to be grounded. The grounding helps with the earth elements and all of that. And if you don't have enough air, the breathing exercises, and the water. If you don't have enough water in your chart, you want to be doing your baths, spiritual baths, and swimming or something, or walking by, or moving by their water. So we have to balance out and realize, and that comes into knowing yourself. That comes into knowing yourself, knowing your elements, knowing all of that stuff, and that takes time, and people don't want to do that. They want to pay somebody else to do it, but you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to know yourself. You're going to have to be your own best friend and get along with yourself. Learn how to sit in quiet with yourself and love yourself and be your best friend. Because nobody going to love you better than you. And you're your own best friend or your worst enemy, I'm telling you. It takes work. Anything takes work. If you want to learn something, you got to bear down and focus on it. If you want to fix yourself and better yourself, you got to do it. Nobody's going to... You can go to the therapist all you want to. You can take all the medication that you want. You going to have to decide, listen, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I want better for myself, and I want change. And I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of not dealing with this anxiety effectively. I'm tired of being triggered like this. You got to do the work. Yeah, the tools help. The medication may help. The counseling may help. The relationship may help. But after a while, if you put too much on a person in a relationship, whether it be your family member, your lover, your husband, wife, and your friend or whatever, even the therapist will get tired of you after a while. They get tired. You tell those therapist people too much, they can't take it either, because they got their own problems going on. So at some point, you're going to have to do the work yourself. You're going to have to dig in and go within and do the work on you. Nobody's going to save you. Nobody's coming to save us. It's all within. No, if they was going to think about it, all this shit going on, I've realized that a long time ago, and I grew up in religion. You praying for somebody. You better be going within, and you are the hero. Cause nobody's think about it. This shit is the trash we've been through. The way they turned this place into a ghetto. If somebody was coming, you know they would have came by. They would have came by now. So wake up, people. Wake up. Wake up, everybody. What they call them, the woke folks. Wake up. We gonna have to figure this out. We gonna have to get our discernment popping off. We're gonna have to get our healing popping off. We're gonna have to, everybody not at the same level. I don't expect everybody to be where I'm at. I used to. I was a naive and egotistical kid, which most of us were. Thinking that people supposed to know what I know. We are not all at the same level of knowledge or knowing and healing and this and that. But just because somebody is not at the same, that don't mean they're not gonna get there. That don't mean that, and age is nothing but a number when it comes to certain things now. When it comes to kids and grown people having relationships, it matters. Yes, definitely. We're not doing that. But I'm saying when it comes to, other things like, people thinking like, oh, they're supposed to be that age. Because, the age is a number. Because you got people that's young that got more sense and more wiser than the older people. So yeah, but when it comes to animals and older people and children and messing with children and stuff, yeah, we look at age. We look at that. It's boundaries to this stuff. Like, yeah, we ain't going there. But they say the brain doesn't fully develop until 30. Now that we looking at all this poisoning of the foods and the childhood trauma and the abuse and the da-da-da. I mean, you go through all this, Avatar go through all types of shit. You probably it takes a little longer than that, considering if you're doing the healing and you're doing the therapy and you're taking medications and blah blah blah. And it depends on your health. Health issues affect people's mind and stuff too. Like, our community is just need to learn more sympathy and empathy for each other. Like, where is the love? Like, people can't love themselves the way they treat other people. They really can't. The things they say, I will use judgment when I need to use judgment, but I have learned that my tongue is very powerful. The tongue is on the edge of hell and heaven. You can either create peace or you can create destruction or the chaos with what you say. Your words are very powerful. Your words are spells. I learned to be accountable for my words and how I speak a long time ago. Now, you get me wrong and I need to come off on it. I'm going to go ahead and use it like I need to use it. If I got to get on some dark shit and talk shit, then I will. I don't have no problems with that. But I'm not going to just put people down and talk like that to people all the time and just use it as a way to tear people down and make them feel like, oh, I mean, I can't stand it because I know how to use my power. I know how to use it effectively, and I also know that people use it nefariously and they use it benevolently, and they know the power of speech. So whenever I see someone doing that and they're supposed to be a true leader, then I already know, like, that person's they're abusing their power. If they have speaking ability and they're using it to abuse people, then yeah, I'm like, that's a messed up individual. They need to go sit down, and you're gonna be held accountable for that. So I have learned, because I was at a very early stage, I was held accountable because I would argue with people sometimes, and I would just be like, you know what? I don't have to fight. I could just use these words and buck them up. And you know what? I was held accountable for that. Now, it's a time to do that. It's a time and a place. It's not just love and light over here and peaches and cream and rainbows. No. It's not that. Sometimes you gotta fight. But you gotta choose your battles, and you gotta have discernment, and you gotta know when to go to war. You don't just be emotional over everything and it's oh la la rah 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 over everything. No. We're not doing that. We have mastery of self. We've been through the life, death, and rebirth and transformation, and that's a lifelong process. When you're talking about the alchemical process of the transforming into the light body, that's a very painful spiritual process. It's not nothing pretty. It's not fairy tales. It's not all that stuff. The delusion. It's very painful to go through the spiritual transformation of the light body of the alchemical process of the soul. It's pain. It's so painful, and sometimes until you feel the. You ever had a heartache that you couldn't do nothing with? Shit. I laugh now, but it won't funny. It won't funny when that transformation from a daggone caterpillar to a butterfly is something serious, you know. That's a serious, 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 painful thing. But in the end, it's a beautiful thing to transform from the caterpillar to the butterfly. The spiritual and alchemical process of life, death, rebirth, and transformation. And that's what we're here for. We're not here to drive the Lamborghini. We're not here to get all the bad chicks, all the what you call it, the hotties, the pretty girl, what we call it, the preference. They're very beautiful. And we're not here to get all the handsome men that's got all the high, what they call them, the high. I want a high value man with them making six figures. That every time I wake up, he feeding me chocolates and got the violin people playing the music for me, like that movie with Tyler Perry where that lady was getting the violin played for her, but she was getting that ass whipped too. You know, everything that all money, what they say, all money ain't good. We heard that a long time ago. All money ain't good money, and everything that shine ain't gold. Everything that glitter is not gold, sure ain't. So we have to learn that we not here. We already done the material thing. Many of us don't know it and probably don't remember. We've had all the gold. We've had the empires, the kingdoms, the resources, and the wealth. And nobody was, even the people that you think of now, like Elon Musk and who else? You thinking of people that's billionaires? It's a few billionaires around, and a lot of times they say they billionaires, and you know what that is? You want me to break it down? Their corporations are valued at that. They can't just go and pull out $1 billion. They have investors. They have stakeholders. They have people that's invested into their corporations, and their corporation that they hold in a trust. I don't know whether it's a irrevocable or a revocable trust where they're valued at $1 billion, and they have put assets in it as far as real estate, stock, 401ks, Roth IRAs, even as far as gold and silver. They've put assets into that corporation to build it up. Even what are your trade lines and all that type of stuff. Age trade. I know some stuff, honey. I know some stuff. Poland. Yes, Poland. Shout out. I love Poland. I love Poland. I love the Netherlands. I love Ireland. Oh, I love Ireland, honey. Ireland is, yeah. And Greenland too. Yeah, I'm a world traveler. I like Japan. I like Vietnam. I even like some parts of Africa too. Now, it's some places I would visit, but I wouldn't move there. But it's some places I would actually go and I would stay a while. Yes. Oh yeah. So, where you at? You worried about me? Where you at? Poland? You in Poland? Shout out to Poland. It's cold. Icy. Yeah, I like I like parts of South America too. I like Cambodia. I like what's the popular place everybody wanna go to? Those people now, they're getting tired now of people coming over there, and cause when too many tourists come, it affects the indigenous people of the, well, should I say a lot of the indigenous people they have pushed out, and it's other people that's there that's saying they're indigenous to those lands, but actually those people are people that's been there for a long time, and I respect that, but they're not the indigenous people. Cause even over in favorite kind of cookie, even over in those countries they're warring with, I remember my family was into the real history, not the story they write in these books a lot of times, but a lot of the people that was there then are not the same people, don't even look the same as the people that's there now. So it's just, it's just how they rewrite history and do their what do you call it, Mandela effect and all that kind of stuff. They do the timeline looping where they write the history they want and they wipe the other history out. But you know what, the truth always comes to the light. You can't completely wipe out the truth. Yeah. Hello, Evelina. How do I say Cizerniak? Cizerniak. How you doing, dear? Sienna. Okay. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So how are y'all making out with what's going on with the anybody know anybody over there near the World Economic in what is it, Switzerland? Anybody over there was involved in the WEF, the World Economic Forum? Anybody check that out as far as being close to that location? Now I know it's kind of difficult to get in there. You have to either be with an organization or be invited or whatever. But it's like activities in Switzerland that you can participate in that's like close to it. Shoot, I want to go. I want to go. I'm probably gonna go one year. Yeah, I know somebody that went recently. If I knew they were going, I would have probably tried to get with them and go see what they talking about. How they talking about trying to do the population, so I could put my goals in there. See what they're talking about behind that wall. Cause see, they go over there and put their information in, and they're not representing us. We need to represent ourselves. We need to know what's going on. We need somebody there that's actually on the side of the humanity and knowing what's being talked about. Yeah, not nobody that's done sold us out. Mm-mm. So yeah, it's time to get more spiritual, cause this material world, it looks like it's nothing wrong with having things, but to let the things, don't let the things have you. And we realizing that a lot of these famous people, they don't even have the possessions and the money that we thought. I told you, all this paperwork. I'm a billionaire, and I'm this and I'm that. A lot of that is not. They're not. That's not theirs. It's their company. They can't just take that money out and say, okay, I got $1 billion a day. They have people that's invested in stakeholders and investors and all that type of stuff. So you have to be careful worshiping rich people and worshiping celebrities and thinking, oh God, I got to do what I got to do to be like them, and I'll do anything to live that life. And that life is not all that it's cracked up to be. Sometimes the little simple life you're living is better than the boosted up, pumped up life that you're seeing these people live out on the internet and stuff. They are not happy. A lot of them are like, it might not even be the people. It might not even be who you think. Like, they got so much going on with not owning their own, not even being owner of their own names. Like, you never know. Like, shit, you never really know. Like, your life, you might say, well, this life I have sucks, but listen, you can go and come like you want to. You don't have nobody telling you got to do this and do that and sacrifice this person. And I mean, you free. And you're not exactly, because we in this world, so we're not free because that Big Brother is what. But I'm saying, to a certain point, you can kind of have some peace, and you don't have to be like putting on a front for the internet, and you can be yourself, and you can enjoy the simple things, the things they can't enjoy. the simple things in life. You know, you don't always have to be acting like you're on top of the world and you got everything you want and putting on. You can be authentic. You can be yourself. You know, so you got time to to work on you, and you don't have to. You know, it's best to be in the background. It's best to not be famous and have be comfortable. It's best to be comfortable and not be like all out on the forefront and the world know all your business. You can't even go anywhere without people following you and they trying to find something bad you did, or you got people after your money, you got people after you, and you don't even really own it like they think so. It's just not. I never wanted to be a famous person like that. I'd rather have the wealth and be comfortable. But as far as anybody knowing about it, oh no, because you know the most wealthiest people in the world, you could see them and wouldn't even know. They have puppets that go out and pretend to be them. They like we thinking like, oh, the people that's the Rothschilds and the Rockefeller and the Madoffos and all these. We thinking that that's the people. Those are not really the people. Those are the people that the representatives. The real people can go to the store down the street and you wouldn't even know because their identities are hid. And a lot of them people, they're not even the color that you think they are. A lot of those families are people that you wouldn't believe is, you know, the nobility is not even who you would think. They have contracted people working to pretend like they're them and they're not the real people. They just the face. So it's wild out here. It's wild. Shenanigans. Yeah, it's really wild. But as I was saying earlier, I had took a course a while back when I was, you know, a child and I didn't understand it. So I know I was like beating myself up because I was like, oh God, I don't understand this. Because I had a good GPA, but I was making good grades with the other courses. So rather than face it, I was trying to get around it. But a lot of the careers that I was going into, I noticed I had this milestone I had to face. So eventually I had no choice. The last loop, I had no choice. I had to get a tutor because I had a tutor when I was at a community college. But like I said, I had a lot of noise going on around me and within. I couldn't really focus on that course. I focused on my other stuff and I aced that. That was easy. But this particular course, I couldn't get it. So when I took this, when I was going for this other like professional degree, I had to finally face it. I had to get a tutor. I had to get tutored online, and it was quiet around me, a little more quieter, and I was calmer from within. And I noticed it was easy for me to focus and understand the subject. And I actually passed it. I made a better grade than I thought I was gonna. I was only trying to just pass it, but I actually scored like a high B on, like a 90. It might have been like a 90, it was 91, something like that, 92, 91. It was a high B score, so I was happy about that. And it just let me see that, you know, all a winner is a loser that didn't stop, didn't give up on themselves. Even if you want to learn something, you keep trying. It may be difficult at first because you don't know what you're doing. But as you keep right on repeating it and repeating that, you know, that's how these people win and become successful. They be consistent and repetitive. Consistency and repeating the same. They repeat the same. It seems, you know, you got to get into that mindset of, damn, you know, it's okay to be bored and repeating something. Because if you repeat it, and you become very very skilled at it. Just repetition. You know, that's how a lot of these discoveries were made, from repetition. Just boringly repeating the same process until a breakthrough comes. Just constantly consistent. Just being consistent and consistency. And that's something that I'm trying to better in my I'm trying to put that in my peripheral as a pet peeve to work on, is being okay with being bored and consistent. Just boring is like okay, the quiet is okay, the peace is okay. Now my nervous system does not have to be all the time overstimulated, like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm used to that. I'm getting used to the quiet. I'm getting used to the, I'm not waiting like, oh, it's so quiet and peaceful, like is something gonna happen. No, I have settled into that. Like that's normal that's normal. It's normal to be at peace, not just quiet on the outside, but inside of me, a quietness, a peace deep within, a balance. Not just, I don't look for like, I don't even look for like, oh, I'm just sitting here, I'm bored, I'm by myself. Which I'm not alone, but I'm just saying, like, I have learned how to enjoy my own company before you can actually, you say, okay, I want to find somebody that loves me and find somebody that's going to stick by me. And I want to find a mate that's going to be with me to the end. But if you can't be with yourself to the end and you can't be by yourself, you ain't going to find no, if you can't tolerate, listen, if you don't like your own company, how can you expect for somebody else to enjoy? You gotta enjoy your own self first and be like, dang, I am fly, I'm cool. Like, I'm not a lame. I know how to be to myself and have me myself, and I be having a good time. That's how you gotta get to yourself. You gotta get and fall in love with you to the point where you like, yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to let somebody come in this space, cause boy, myself and I, we got a special thing going on. You know what I'm saying? You won't have to pretty much marry yourself. Then when you get that comfortable, then you'll attract somebody that's like, damn, I see the value in them, cause I see the value in myself, and I know how much I value my time and myself. So I like that. Like, they're not gonna be dependent on me to emotionally regulate them, and I just don't have to go through the bullshit. Like, this person is actually, they're healing and working on themselves, and they got high self-esteem, and they love themselves, and they're secure. Like, you're gonna attract, think about it, you're gonna attract like-minded people, even in your business careers, even in your friendships, even if you single or whatever. Even if you with somebody that's all fucked up and they always draining your energy and pulling on you, and you gotta regulate their damn nervous system, and they like, oh, am I okay? And I keep it warm. Am I beautiful? And do I look good? Am I happy today? Can you make me happy? Can you save me? Can you heal me? Can you fix me? You're gonna get tired. If you working on yourself, that could be the most beautifulest or most beautiful woman that look like they came out of the Caspian Sea, a goddess. And then I done seen this man one time. Oh Lord, I done seen a few nice looking men, but I seen this one man. He looked like he came out of some kind of. He was fine. He was fine. He looked like he came out of some type of pure. I done seen some look. I got some good taste now, but you got to be more than look. He was, and I'm not into tall men like that. I'm not into tall men like that. But I done learned not to be into the short ones because they got an attitude. Like, I mean, you be like, I don't really care how tall you are, but they actually they act like it's the world's fault that they not tall. And they got an attitude. And they got a short man complex. And that ain't my problem either. Like, go talk to your mama and your daddy about that. Because I don't have no problem with your height. But if you got a problem with it and you're going to make it a problem for me, you can kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm just straight like that. But it was this man. He was like so gorgeous. And I've seen a few. I've seen some. I've met some A-list celebrities and all this and that, and the NBA ball players and all that. I haven't met too many NFL. Have I? I have met some NFL, but I have met more NBA ball players. The ones that signed. So I saw this one man one time, and he looked like one of them people, like a god or something like that. Do you know this fool? Was like, I was dancing with him. I was at this like really exquisite like rooftop party or whatever, and so I was doing the cha-cha or something with this guy. What you call that dance? Salsa. We was salsa dancing. I could do all. Yeah, I love to dance. So I was doing like salsa dancing with this guy. So at the end of the dance, right, he was like, "Can I go home with you?" Now he was. Most women would have been like, "Hell yeah, you go home with me. You can go home with me. You fine." Because, I mean, he was a looker. I don't know what nationality he was. But, it's some people you really can't. I'm good at that. I'm good at telling what nationality people are, if they're, I can even narrow it down to what, like, if they're Spanish, what kind of, like, if they're from Colombia, I can narrow it down, or if they're from Guatemala or Salvador or even Morocco. It's just African. I know that's an African country. Or Italy, I can tell they're Italian. Or Argentina. I'm very good at that. I'm very good with deciphering, and even if they're the Asian, between the Chinese, the Japanese, the Vietnamese, the Philippines, I'm good. I just had a diversity of, you know being blessed to be able to be around a diversity of cultures. So I'm very diversified. Well, honey, he was fine. He looked gold. He didn't look, the color he was, just looked like gold. So he was like, "Can I go home with you?" I had to check myself. I'm like, "Well, shit. Can he go home with me?" No, no whores, no whores here. But the whole face tried to tell me on the show, like, "Look, man, look at him. He want to go home with you. Look at him. When do you see this every day?" So I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't. But I mean, damn, he was fine. I didn't do it. It's been a few times I didn't do that one. And that thing be on my shoulder, like, "What is you doing? What is you doing, girl? What is you doing?" So I was like, "Oh no, I got to get to know you." So I don't know if he had a hater or what, but this other guy that was seeing that, I was feeling the dude and we was dancing, having a good time. He was like, "Well, your boy is a pedophile." And I'm like, he's like, "Yeah. He done got caught up and had to go get sent somewhere because he went to jail or something. He had to get, I guess he had to go get sent back somewhere because he was messing with some little young girl or whatever, 13 years. Now, I don't know if that was true, but he showed this guy, I kind of knew him, the other guy, so he was just like talking shit about him, and I kind of believe it. I don't know if he was a player hater or what, but he was pretty much saying that he won't about shit. But I mean, he did look good, but you got to be careful because everything that glitter is not gold, and all money is not good money. But honey, he was something to look at, and I did enjoy dancing with him, and I left it at that. And that's happened a lot in my lifetime. You don't just, because somebody tell you like, "Oh my God, I want to be with you, and you're beautiful." You come on, guys. We got to get up on game. We can't just fall for that as women or men, because men get gaslighted too. So y'all, we gotta have discernment. That's what happens when you go within. Not saying that I'm a perfect and I do everything perfectly right. I've made mistakes. I'm in this avatar humanity, but I try. I try. But most people would have been like, "Hell yeah, you can go home with me. Let's leave right now." It was fine. Yeah. So yeah, just being aware of your surroundings, and having discernment, and being able to not be manipulated and influenced. Knowing yourself, knowing your worth, knowing your value, and also watching your drinks when you out, because people will put those little feel good things in your stuff. I don't even trust some bartenders. I'm not even gonna front, because think about it. I don't go out. I barely go out, and it's so crazy where I'm at sometimes. I don't go out. I went out a while ago, and I went to this bar, and it was actually I know it was I've been to these places before, but it was in my town, and it was fun. I had a good time. Look, it was a drag show, a drag show. But I went to the one in my town. I had a good time. Like, no, I'm not into life, but I think it's cool sometimes. Just get to see, they know how to really perform. The ladies, the ones in drag or whatever. So I go to this one in this other city. Don't you know, I get up to the bar. See, it's different now. It's totally different. See, I'm used to the old school ones. Like, they really didn't have a problem with women. Not saying that everybody's like that, but they just seem like they don't like, some of them seem like they don't like women no more. Now the ones back, I got friends I got people that I went to school with. that are big stars with drag. So we always like I would always go to his shows and stuff like that in the city, and I would see him back home, and we were always cool. Well, nowadays it's different. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the food or what, but it seemed like, so I'm at the bar. We at the bar. Me and one of my family members. I order a drink. Don't you know this mug gonna give me 2 freaking drinks? I only asked for one, and then gonna try to harass me about a tip, acting all sassy. I'm like, look, I don't know what you've been told, but I only wanted one drink. You not about to run no game on me. No, I didn't. I'm lying. You know what I did? The old me would have talked shit and all this and that, but you know what I said? I'm not about to get into it with this because there's people crazy now, and I know I had somebody with me, and I need to look out for them. See, they not like me. The person I had, the family member I had with me, they don't want to go through all that rigmarole. You know what I'm saying? And even if I would have been by myself, I have to be careful because they like to fight women. So I was like, you know what? Hey, I got it. I'm gonna just go ahead and pay. But I know one thing. I won't be coming back there no more. You're not gonna do me. No, that's all I needed to see. And I ain't never been back in that for years. So yeah, you only take me one time. I'll go ahead. Yeah, I went ahead and paid. I was about to say I talked my talk. No, I went ahead and I paid. And you know what? I tip. That's not even the old me would have been rah rah. Like, no, you didn't no, you didn't charge me for 2 drinks, and you got the nerve to try to ask me for a tip after you trying to run game. But you know what I learned to do over the years? I learned to choose my battles. Choose my battles. Somebody else, they're gonna meet their match. Somebody gonna come in there bigger and better, and they're gonna try that with them, and it's not gonna work out so good. You don't do people like that. You treat people like you want to be treated. And I learned that mess come back to you, and it come back it come back worse. Running game on people. I'm ordering 1 drink. I did not want 2 drinks. The drinks about $20 a piece, no lie. And then you got a nerve to say, oh, and you didn't tip me. I'm like, bitch, you got me seriously fucked up. You don't know me. And I don't be out here. If I'm out like that, I'm a woman. I'm gonna be protected, spiritually and physically. I'm gonna be protected. So you're not gonna. I'm aware. I'm really aware. And it's bad that in certain countries, in certain places, you can go out and stuff, and it's peaceful. Certain countries, you can go out at night, and you can be at peace. But in some places in America, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've been in countries where I have just been by myself, and I felt more safer than I feel like in the U.S. sometimes. So it's neither here nor there. So it's just crazy. Yeah, it's just wow. So I travel because I like to see what's outside of the what you call it, the place. What is this place? It's a beautiful. It used to be more beautiful than this before they turned it into a ghetto. But this is the America. I call it America, not the USA, because that's the name America what that it was before they came over and colonized it. But yeah, it was a beautiful place before they tried to turn it into a trash can. It was a beautiful place, and everybody could come and visit and whatnot. But it's just they've made it into. They tried to destroy it. Everybody wants to go to America, cause that's where it's at. But it's just that you got the imposters, and they do this with that group to turn this group against that. It's just too much psyoping going on. It's gonna be all right. After a while, everything is gonna be balanced out. You can't go on and doing the same shit forever. You really can't. Every dog has its day, and everything got to come to an end. So that's all I got to say. But everybody, you have a wonderful Thursday, and get your grounding in, because it's a lot of people losing it now because of fear mongering and not being able to regulate their nervous systems with the anxiety and all that stuff. And the medication not working, and even now it's something wrong with the drugs, like even the weed and stuff. It's something wrong with that for a long time. I'd be weary of that type of the back in a little while ago, you used to could like get the good stuff, the kind bud and purple. Hey, this mess they got over here now. I just noticed how these people act. I've been noticing that for a while. They don't act right. That's not regular, real marijuana that they smoking. I don't know. It's making them more retarded and delayed and all kinds of stuff. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful even with that. And when they start regulating something and making it legal and it's okay to use it, then they dipping in it and doing their little experiments and putting their agendas in it. So you just got to be aware and be careful. That's all I got to say about that. You just, whenever they all up in something, is something wrong. It is something wrong. It ain't nothing good. So, yeah. Never, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Who going to that Cardi B concert? Who going to the Cardi B concert? Ain't it's coming up soon? And the Super Bowl coming up over in America. Y'all like the singer or rapper Cardi B? Yep. And then they say Nicki Minaj was just speaking on the panel with the president, right? They always using them celebrities for their agendas anyway. They always done that. That's nothing new. Them celebrities is mostly puppets. I always knew that. I met a lot of them I met a few of them celebrities, and I didn't want to get. I mean, some of them cool, but I just be careful. Now I'm not about to be nobody damn sacrificing none of that. No. I know how them people think. They have to be they have to deal with. It's got to be approved for them. That's why they all mess with the same people, because it has to be approved. If you hear, the guy Blueface, he even told you none of the women that he deal with is new women. This women he been dealing with, they have to deal with a certain group of people. I guess they have to keep it in the circle or whatever. Yeah. They can't go outside that circle and just do some random stuff, because they have contracts and stuff on them. They don't even own themselves. Shit. Yeah. So this has been MaSunGoddess777. I was just coming up here to kick it with y'all for a little while. Y'all have a wonderful day, and remember to ground. And if you don't have, you got to get to know yourself to figure out what your elements are as far as water, fire, air, and earth. You got to be grounding, that's earth, and then walking beside some moving body of water, or taking baths and showers and doing your spiritual baths, and your breathing exercises is air and fire. So yeah, everybody just master yourself and keep it together. Don't give up on yourself. You want to learn something, keep on trying. And y'all have a wonderful day. Support Maya's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. Maya's Temple 777 at Gmail. And y'all have a wonderful day. I'll be back at you soon. And thanks. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye-bye.